Stephen Cool, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to change a tire. So if you're driving down the road and get a flat tire, it's a good thing to know how to change it. Most cars today in the trunk have spares. You have a spare tire here, you have your jack, and you have your wrench. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a car jack, which this was in my trunk. Normally I would use a regular car jack, but we're just demonstrating that we're on the side of the road having a flat tire. So I'm going to use this jack. And then you need a wrench to take off your lug nuts, okay? Stop. So it's very important to be safe while changing the tire. If you're driving down a busy road, make sure you get off and you're in a safe spot and try to be as level as possible so the car doesn't roll. First thing you want to do is you want to take off this wheel rim. It's just plastic and it should just pop right off, like so. So it's important to loosen these nuts first. This car has 5, some have more, some have less. But before you even get this car in the air, it's important to loosen these. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, and these are going to be tight, so you gotta put some manpower into it. Okay? Get it loose, twist with your finger, and then you do the same process with all 5. So the next step you want to do is you want to place your jack under the car. You want to get it closest to the tire as possible. And this jack has a little groove. So you want to get a piece of the car in here so it stays stabilized. And then we're going to jack up the car. One thing to make sure is when you're jacking up the car that it's not on any plastic pieces or any flimsy pieces that break. You want to be on the steel or on the frame of the car. So I'm just twisting with my fingers now because it's not on anything. I'm gonna try to get this piece in the lip here. So we're just gonna do it with my fingers while we can. We want it to go right there. Just keep going until you can't no more with your fingers, okay? So normally, if we had a normal jack, there'd be a little bar that we could just push and pump the car jack up a lot easier. But this is the little tool you want to use. You just slide it in the hole, and you just want to go right with it. And you have to keep switching it because it's awkward. But our goal is to jack the car up until this wheel is off the ground here. So this is going to take a little while to do with hand to jack up. But you can see that the car is slowly but surely going up. And while you're doing this, make sure that this jack stays level to the ground. Doesn't shift, doesn't move anything. If it does, lower your car, reposition it. You can even put a little 2x4 board under it to stabilize it. And also make sure that it's still on the lip and it hasn't moved. Never put your head under the car. Okay, so our jack is jacked all the way up. Our tire is off the ground. I can put my fingers under it and put a piece of tool under it. So that means we're good. So what we want to do is we want to take these nuts off one at a time. It's very important you don't lose your nuts, so keep them in the pocket, keep them in a safe place. And I'm just going to do 2 at a time just to speed up the process here. You got to take all 5 of them off. Okay. And the reason why we loosen them before we jack them up is if they're still tight and you jack them up, the car's gonna shake and it's gonna be hard on that jack and the jack might fall off and it's no good. Okay, our nuts are off, it's ready to take the tire off. Just grab the tire on each side and just slowly work it off. And there you go, your tire's off. You got your rotors and your brakes there. If your tire's flat, put it in the trunk, throw on your spare. And boom. So we got our spare here, fully inflated, wheeled up to the car. Alright, this is the side that you want to put in. okay? This is the side you want facing out. So we try to line up the holes the best we can, eye it up, and then we place them on. And this is tricky because the tire's not light, it's heavy. And we line it up here, like so, okay? Try to get level, and you got them on, okay? Now you want to do is kind of keep your knee in here, keep it steady, and just loosen your nuts, or tighten, I'm sorry. Tighten your nuts, okay? And you don't want to go, you kind of want to zigzag it. That's just the way I was always taught. So don't put one here after you put one here. Put it here, okay? And here. And you don't have to tighten all the way, just tighten it with your hand. And then once we lower the jack, we'll tighten it real tight with the wrench. But just tighten it with your hands. And now we have our spare tire on. Now we gotta lower the jack all the way. Okay, we got the car on the ground, got the jack out. Go ahead and put it to the side. Let's grab our wrench. All our nuts, except this one, are all tightened by hand. So now what we want to do is we want to tighten these as tight as possibly can. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. See how much I still can tighten on here without my hand? All right, let's jump to this one. Put it on there. Tighten them all up so we can't no more. Like this one, see how tight that is? You want to get it as tight as possible. You don't want your wheel falling off. So we're going to do that with all 5 of them. Now you want to grab your hubcap. Easiest way to line it up is wherever you put in your air. Line it up right there. Get it up in. And the snaps on. Boom, you got a new tire. So it's very important to stay safe while changing a tire. You want to get off a main highway off to a side shoulder of the road. You want it to be as flat as possible. Turn your 4-way flashers on and pull your emergency brake. A flat tire can happen to anybody, and it's very important that you know how to use your tools in a safe way to change your tire. I mean, it's pretty easy, self-explanatory. Yeah, that's how you change a tire.